So, if you've ever been in my comments and seen people write pedophile, sex offender, child molester, rapist, all these things, it's a lot of my haters. Now, I made a 15-minute video. Here is the link. It's on my YouTube. Go watch it and watch how I'm debunking all of these stupid accusations. So go watch it. I know you guys trust me. You love me. You look up to me. I want to make sure I'm going to be the best role model for you. I personally paid some big influencers, I don't want to say their name, but some big influencers to go and make videos about me. And I didn't care what videos. I just wanted my name out there. When the police arrived at my house, I told them the truth. I said, I got some from each girl. This girl went down on me. The other girl went down on me. It was my birthday. They offered. I accepted. I didn't know that she was underage. And imagine, I just turned 18. Now, it's not really a crime if you think about it. But unfortunately, here in the state of California, it is, because you have Hollywood, and they made the age of consent 18.
Well, guys, we are back here once again with a complete and utter dipshit and a man that has seen Wes Watson pretty much being taken out of the alpha male clown show and decided that he was going to try and be the #1 clown. So naturally, I'm talking about the one and only bend over Azoulay, aka King Azoulay. And all of a sudden, now that Wes Watson is basically getting locked up and is probably going away for quite a while, he has been ramping up all of his efforts and has been going just absolutely crazy recently, where we have not only seen him trying to do all types of goofy different collaborations with basically anybody that will tolerate his stupidity, and have seen him ramping up his little fake podcast where he took a page straight out of Peggy the Peganator's book and decided that he was going to go on a random ass racist rant where he was talking about all types of shit. He mentioned throwing bananas at black people and how black people that were his friend were coconuts, and even compared Africans' IQ to gorillas. So it really was some wild shit.
I was the most racist motherfucker ever. I was like, monkey this, monkey that. You know, see them fucking running. I swear to God, I used to drive down the street, see a black guy, throw him a banana. I was a crazy
What?
I gave them first chance when I was 11, and my best friend, Tyrese, stole my phone. 6 months later, I see him with my phone. I'm like, this is a custom phone. He's like, no, I bought it. I was like, motherfucker, boom, beat the fuck out of him. For some reason, they're not meant for high society places. I don't care what the fuck people say. You put them in good areas and they fuck up the area. And it's not about racism. It's not about any of that. It's just the way that they are programmed. To more black people in my life. And within the last, I would say 5-6 years, I've had more black friends and black bodyguards. And we're cool and they're good people. But I tell them, you guys are coconut. You know what is a coconut? White on the inside, black on the outside. You know? You're a coconut. Do you know what's the IQ level of a silverback gorilla?
Don't know.
90. Do you know what's the average IQ in Africa?
What?
60. People say, oh, you know, whites call themselves white supremacists, like they're above blacks. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's the blacks that called whites white supremacists.
And along with these podcasts and all of his goofy collaborations, he even ramped up his little shorts production, where he's been dropping random shorts like this one right here, that is just downright goofy as hell, and is obviously building off of his little racist rant on the podcast.
Hey, King.
What's up?
You have any good jokes about black people that black people won't get offended by?
Yeah, of course. You know what's the difference between a black man and Batman?
Shit.
Yeah?
I like it, man.
He asked me for a black joke. I'm giving him a black joke. You know what's the difference between a black man and Batman?
What's the difference?
Batman could go out at night without robbing.
But the goofiest part about this isn't even the joke, but the fact that he created this fake little fan reaction right in the middle of it, where you know damn well that that's not actually a fan but one of his buddies. And it has all just been so damn stupid. But this was just the beginning, because the Wannabe King is trying to do a full-on rebrand once again, and decided that he was going to release this complete and utter pile of shit right here. Yep, that is right. He is trying to retell his little grape case story once again, and is continuing to make up even more lies in the hopes of burying it so he can continue his pursuit of being the top alpha male. And in this video, he even had the audacity to put "Am I a PDF" in the fucking thumbnail. So we're already on some bullshit before even watching it, and so were the comments, because he was just going straight up crazy in them and had some diabolical responses, like "PDF would mean that she was under the age where she got her period. That's a child. 15 and I was 18. That's not PDF, that's teenagers having fun. Relax, hater." Which is just an abysmal take, considering that some girls get their period at 11, so using that logic is just insane. But he also tried to say that he tried to inflate things and upset people more so that people would speak about him, and now since everyone stopped talking about it, he figured it's time to actually tell the truth, which is just bullshit. And then we had other ones like this, where someone said the age of consent laws are ridiculous and 18 is just too high, and this fucking clown agreed with him and said it's only like that in California though. So with this type of shit going on in the comments, you already know that this video was gonna be insane, so we're just gonna jump straight into it, where he started off by trying to talk about how he's here only trying to do good things, and that people just don't believe his story and they're haters because of it.
I shared my life story. And for the people that look at me and say, why does he have this kind of a life story? I don't like him for that. I gotta tell you, you're not gonna get ahead in life. And I'm talking to you directly. You're not. And I'm sure that if me and you were sitting down in the same room, in the same table, I guarantee you, you would know that I want only the best for you. You wouldn't think for a second that I want anything bad for you. And that's why now I'm going to make more long form so you can get more of a feel for who I am and why I'm even here. I'm a good guy and you guys know it. I don't need to be here. I've made it in life. I've made it and you guys know that. I don't even have to say what I have. I've really made it.
And yeah, it's just a power play right out of the gate to try to build sympathy for himself, or to try to discredit anybody who calls him out, because he's just trying to act like he's telling his life story. But in reality, the reason people don't like him is not only for his insane little disgusting crime in the past that was revealed by John Bravo, but it's also because the guy lies about pretty much fucking everything. He said his life story, but he has created about 40 different life stories, so obviously most of them are bullshit. But after trying to do this little intro, he then actually tried to get into the case a little bit, and it just started off with this bullshit right here, where he's trying to discredit not only John Bravo, but also the parents of the girl, and just immediately seems to be bullshit.
So about less than a year ago, about 8 months ago, someone came out with a video saying something about me. Said that I was some rapist. Now, what he said was he read the civil lawsuit that the parents of the girl had against me, my family, her best friend, which was a girl, and her family, some of the other guys that were there, and their families. They were asking for $51 million. Now, I want you to think logically. If you were a parent, would you really go for a $51 million lawsuit, or would you want justice for your daughter? You'd probably want justice for your daughter. The only reason you would want to go for a $51 million lawsuit is because you just wanted the money and you know nothing was there. It was all a made-up story by them. The real story is this, because some people say online that I'm sex offender, child molester, rapist. If I was any of these things, I would have been on the sex offender list. And honestly, if I was any of these things, I'd probably take my own life. But I pulled it up for you. Here it is. I'm not on the sex offender list.
And real quick, this is off topic, but it's bothering the fuck out of me. Who the hell lined this man's beard up to where it is this damn lopsided? For someone who has all this money, apparently he couldn't get somebody who could line his shit up correctly. But getting back to it, tries to make the dumbass argument that because they sued him, then they are just making it up and they only want money. When in reality, if you're in that situation and he got off on some bullshit plea deal and through a horseshit loophole, then you would be trying to hurt him in any way you could, which would also involve trying to go after him financially. So it's just not a very good argument. And then on top of that, he tries to say that he's not on the registry, which again seems to be that he got through a legal loophole. And it's just a thing that he constantly tries to use instead of addressing the actual evidence brought to the table, like the medical report that John Bravo showed that demonstrated that the girl experienced some type of physical trauma with it and had tearing in multiple places she shouldn't have. But he's not going to address that. He's just going to try to bring up the fact that, hey, I'm not on the registry. And after this, he had the audacity to go in and lie even further and stated that he was paying people to make videos on it and that apparently it was just his master plan.
And these other influencers that have made these videos about me, they stopped because they know it wasn't real. But they inflated a lot of things for the main reason of actually getting more and more views. And it worked. But it also worked for me. I personally paid some big influencers, I don't want to say their name, but some big influencers to go and make videos about me. And I didn't care what videos. I just wanted my name out there. And the more videos that came out, the more people spoke about me, the more I was known all around the world. Now I speak at schools, now I speak at organizations, I do seminars, and all of that, and I do it for free, out of the kindness of my heart, wanting to actually help the youth. So, this is a very strong marketing way. I was all for it. But some people are still taking it serious. It's not serious. You could go look it up. There you go. If you could find me one document that says that I was convicted of rape, I'll give you $100,000.
And yeah, it's just more of him using language to make himself look good, when in reality, he is leaving out very key important pieces of information, like the fact that he took that plea deal there. So obviously it's not going to say he was convicted of grape because he pled to getting a BJ from her. And it's just more dishonest bullshit paired with just a straight up lie that it was his plan to become known as a PDF, which is nobody's plan. It's just horse shit. And he went on to retell the story again, where there was a shit ton of differences from the last 3 times he told it, making it clear that he was probably lying throughout the entire thing.
Their daughter said, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with it. Me and her don't actually have an issue. We never had an issue, me and her. Ever. All it was is that she went down on me and a few more girls went down on me on the night of my birthday. That was it. When the police arrived at my house, because her parents found out that she was out, when the police arrived at my house, I told them the truth. I said, I got some from each girl. This girl went down on me. The other girl went down on me. It was my birthday. They offered. I accepted. I didn't know that she was underage. And imagine, I just turned 18. Still a child, a teenager. So when I went to court, they gave me exactly the charge that is a girl that is under the age of 18 went down on me. And that's because I admitted it. The problem is that I said, that's not fair, I didn't know their age. They said, because you didn't know her age doesn't take you away from a crime. Now, it's not really a crime if you think about it. But unfortunately, here in the state of California, it is, because you have Hollywood and they made the age of consent 18. Other states, it's 16. I'm sure maybe some of the states are even 15.
So first off, it is definitely a crime, and it is 18 for a reason in many places. But in pretty much every state that I am looking at, it is not 15 in any, so no matter what state you are in, you would have been fucking cooked. And then on top of this, his story is flip-flopping around harder than a fish out of fucking water, because we have not only seen him try to claim that the reason he took the plea deal was because the judge was after him and he had actually had no contact and never actually received a BJ, and they were just teaching him a lesson for hitting his last girlfriend.
I was never convicted of rape. I was convicted of oral copulation with a minor. I was 18, she was under 18. And I agreed to take a plea deal that I got a blowjob from her. They were trying to teach me a lesson because a year before that, when I was underage, I had a fight with my ex-girlfriend. She cheated on me. I got hell of upset and I smacked her in the back of the head. So the judge wanted to teach me a lesson. So that way I don't have involvements like that any longer.
Along with him, in another instance, trying to claim that he was really just taking one for the team so that his parents didn't get sued, and he didn't do it, and didn't receive a BJ, but instead was doing it as a sacrifice for his family.
And my lawyer said, listen, if we go to trial, we're going to win. The only thing is that it's going to cost your parents money to go to trial. The judge gave us an offer. The judge came and said to my lawyer, look, I could remove the $50 million because the lawsuit was on me. It was my parents' house. It was on the homeowner's insurance, and it was on my parents. I wanted that removed more than anything. The judge says, listen, I have a great deal and we can finish all of this. I'll tell them to remove the $50 million lawsuit because what they need is real justice. But I'll also let them know that there wasn't any and that they're going to lose this case regardless. So how about we do that? We get me, Ben Azoulay, to plead guilty to Code 288, which means oral copulation with a minor. But she said, I'll give him that. All of it will be expunged off of his record. He'll spend 30 days in jail to make it seem like it's a lot. And he'll be done with it.
So now, instead of either one of these stories, apparently the truth was he did get a BJ, and that was all it was, and that he got the time and took the deal he rightfully deserved. And with this one, he also even left out other details that were in his other stories, like watching the two minors go at it right in front of everybody at the party, and all types of other shit.
Came with us to the house. You know, we're all having some drinks and stuff. She starts going wild. She started taking off her clothes. She was in an underwear and bra. Started walking around to the guys, asking them if they will fuck her. And all of us didn't understand what was going on with her. But she started jumping around. She went into my parents' house. We're all in the backyard. Started jumping on the beds from room to room to room. When she fell on the floor, I was like, what the hell is happening with her? I need to get this girl out of my house.
So we're hanging in the backyard, and she sits next to one of the young men who was 17 years old and asked him, will you sleep with me? And I told him, you guys cannot go in my house. If you want, you guys could do it here. So they tried it in front of everybody. And then next thing that happened was, it didn't work for him. So a few seconds after, they stopped. And they were just sitting down and hanging out with us.
But I guess he realized how bad of a look that was, where he was admitting to another crime, and just decided to leave it out this time. But he then went on to basically talk about the plea deal, where instead of making up all of this miraculous bullshit that I just showed you, apparently he just took it because he did admit to getting the BJ, and it was the only course of action he had. Which I don't know why he expects us to believe anything he says at this point, when he's lied at least 3 or 4 different times with different stories. But yeah, he's trying anyway.
The plea deal, I want you guys to know something. Plea deal doesn't mean that you took a lesser charge. The only reason I took a plea deal was because I wanted to go to trial because I said I didn't know that she was underage. They said they were a freshman in college. So I didn't know that. And they said it is what it is. So as I was fighting it, my lawyer told me, look, you told them this. So now you have to face it. So let's just take that charge, which is meant taking a plea deal, and just not go all the way to trial. Tell them that you didn't know, because if you didn't know, It doesn't take you away from the crime. It doesn't matter. You admitted it. Should have kept your mouth shut. So I did. I took the plea deal, and here I pulled it up for you so you could see what it means. That doesn't mean that I took a lesser charge. That only means that I pretty much agreed to whatever they wanted from me, and I was done with it. I inflated it, and I wanted to inflate it, and I wanted it pushed out there, and it brought me like 50 billion views. And it was crazy. Like that with Ali, you're a nice guy, F students are the inventors, people recreating my content. It was great. I didn't need to pay clippers. Everybody talked about me. But I want you guys to understand that that is not anything that I am. And for the people that are coming on here to say that I am, what can I say? And as you see, all the rest of the creators stopped making this content about me because it's BS. It's BS and they know it. They wanted to get views, great. They got views, they got paid on the views, awesome. I got a lot of recognition, great.
And yeah, this little rebrand is not going to work whatsoever. And it's honestly just stupid as a motherfucker. But I will say this, Ben. If you want to pay me to keep making these videos on you, I'll gladly take it. Because I really do enjoy flaming the hell out of your stupid ass. And if you're that much of a glutton for punishment, I guess it's a win-win for both of us. But with all jokes aside, that's enough for one day. And if you enjoyed, please drop a sub and a like and join the Saints Mafia. Because we will be staying on this clown's ass, and we won't let him take Wesley's spot and all of the attention. But for now, I'm out. Watching King Azoulay continue to look like a moron. And peace.
Now, I'll leave the comments open for a little bit. What I love doing is letting the haters comment like 200 comments, let them waste their time, and then I turn off the comments on YouTube because I really don't care to see them. So, and I don't do it myself, my team does it. So just so you know, you're gonna put in the work, and after that, once it gets pushed out more, right, you help me get more traction into the video, and then after that, I pretty much close the comments.